Hi, friends. Pastor Evan here, and we are in Romans chapter 12 as we continue our walk through the book of Romans. Today, Paul is speaking to some of the issues that are causing division inside and outside the church in the city of Rome. Inside the church, of course, there's divisions and conflict between the Jewish believers and the Gentile believers who are now coming back together. There's also conflicts between the believers in the city of Rome and the empire, the Romans, and the community that the believers have come out of, coming from pagan worship into worship of Jesus. And so everywhere they turn, there's this natural tendency towards combativeness and defensiveness just because there's so much tension. And so as I read this, I feel like we can relate in so many ways to that idea of as soon as I wake up, I'm ready for a fight. Paul addresses this, and he really lays out guidelines to embody the way of Jesus, to respond in a way that's not natural, is supernatural. It's Jesus. Verse 9 of chapter 12, let love be without hypocrisy, hate what is evil, cling to what is good, be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor giving preference to one another. He goes down to verse 14, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse. And then he ends this section, and you should read all the verses here, but he says, do not be wise in your own opinion. So many things that don't even need me to expand on them. They're just so direct and straightforward in how do we live in a time where we feel like we have to fight for what I think. That somehow, if I don't stand up for my opinions online, or my opinions with my family, or my opinions with my coworkers, that somehow I lose. I think Paul would just dismantle that whole thought today and say there is a better way. When we live in tension, we actually lean into the way of Jesus. We actually lean into things like humility and hospitality and the kind of love that isn't just a nice feeling or altruistic, affection towards someone. It's something deeper. It's a love that requires sacrifice. It's a love that requires laying down of our own preferences for the preferences of others. Now, this is really challenging. And I think for me, I am reminded as I read this today at just what a narrow road and a difficult path it is really to embody the way of Jesus. We talk about how grace is free and salvation comes through faith alone. All of that is 100,000% true. But the fact is, for those of us who are believers, what we are called into next is very difficult. It's to live in a society that is experiencing intense conflict and to go against everything in us that wants to fight and be defensive and win, and choose instead the way of Jesus. I feel challenged today. I hope you do as well. Pastor Dave, I think, is going to come tomorrow morning with another devotion and tell you where to go from here. But man, we sure love you, and I hope to see you soon.